flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
Welcome back to our ongoing investigation of the space alien invasion at Florida's capital.
We are the survivors.
We warp into Tuesday of Week 5 as the Senate Community Affairs Committee scheduled to rehear SB 934, the disastrous bill that would ban local governments from entering into project labor agreements for publicly funded construction projects. After uncovering that this poorly written legislation would encompass much more than PLAs and ban things like local living and prevailing wage ordinances, the heat was on the bill's supporters to justify this legislation authored by Alec and the Koch brothers. The committee blew through its business with no motion to bring the bill back, so it stays on life support with a dying battery. Tuesday also marked a day of celebration, recognizing one of the labor movement's most revered heroes, Cesar Chavez. Activists were at the Capitol to celebrate Chavez's birthday and support a resolution to make March 31st a state holiday in commemorance of Cesar's humanitarian work and influence on Florida's farm worker movement. Members of the Young American Dreamers and the Farm Worker Association of Florida joined legislators in honoring the Chavez legacy.
Whenever we think of Cesar Chavez, we always think of grapes, we think of California. Many people don't realize how much of an impact he had here in the state of Florida. We've had major advances since the 1970s. However, we still got a long way to go. And one of those things that we have to focus on is actually celebrating the history, the victories, recognizing those who fought for the people who actually picked the food that feeds this country.
A busy Tuesday ended with the Senate Elections Committee voting on SB 894, a bill that seeks to engage more voters in the process by reminding them that any eligible voter can vote from the comfort of their own homes by changing the law to read vote by mail as opposed to the current term absentee voting. Research has shown that this change will help increase voter turnout. The legislative attempt to cast a cloud over Florida's sunshine laws when it comes to searches for university presidents and provosts took another step forward in the Florida House on Wednesday.
Not knowing why the finalist for a presidential position was chosen over the others is a secret that universities and colleges cannot afford and should avoid. As Barbara Peterson, president of the First Amendment Foundation, stated, quote, "Who applies for these positions within the college system or a state university, their qualifications and accomplishments, who is selected and who is not, is vitally important public information. To shield the selection process from public oversight and accountability is, we believe, bad public policy," end quote. And I couldn't agree more.
The argument that we need to do this to get better candidates and have a bigger candidate pool, going back to common sense, is patently incorrect because we just had 4 successful presidential searches in this state in about 18 months. And in each one of those cases, there were qualified, highly qualified candidates from all over the country, if not the world.
Hiding critical public business from the people? Smells like space alien teen spirit to me. The Working Families Lobby Corps was on the space case in Week 5, leaving their mark on the 2015 legislative session by taking action straight to the Capitol and legislators' offices.
We're here as a squeaky wheel, and you're going to need to grease us because we're not going to be quiet.
And this year I brought a letter from a 5th grade student and delivered it to every representative and every senator. Children's voices need to be heard.
Come on up, wear the buttons, fill out your form, sit in the committee meetings because you can really make a difference.
Trust in only the Lobby Corps, Mr. Mulder, as we pick up the case next week. Solidarity.